That halfway mark of your season, just your group and the progress that they've made, up to this point.
I think certainly done some good things, but far from perfect. I think I think we've gone out and we've attacked. We've been aggressive. We just have to be more consistent, right? Got to get off blocks better. Got to be in our gap. That was probably the biggest thing from the Minnesota game. We weren't in our gap enough, which gave them some yards there that maybe they shouldn't have been able to get. But for the most part, I think we've been able to get the quarterback off the spot. It hasn't really equated maybe into as many sacks as everybody wants, but you got to see how people are protecting us too. Last 3 games, people have gone 7-8 man max protection, and now 2 or 3 of those guys have been on George, right? So there have been some one-on-one opportunities I think we can be better at taking advantage of. But at the end of the day, like I said, some good things, a lot to get better at, and a great opportunity this weekend. And guys are excited about going over to Iowa City and playing a really good football team.
How has George handled the double and triple teams?
Good. I think it's natural at times. You can get frustrated, but he hasn't shown it. I think, when teams have maybe gotten away from that a little bit and given us more of a 6-man slide or an RPO, the one RPO that Notre Dame ran, he hit the quarterback right when he was throwing it, and that's the last time they ran an RPO. Minnesota has been a big RPO team. A couple of years ago, they're more of a play-action 7-8 man max protection team now. So, again, he's seen it all. Whether it's a tight end coming in and chipping, backs chipping, they're going to slide his way. Get help from the guard. We're trying to move him around at times to make it difficult. To ID him. But again, at the end of the day, we've got to have other guys, start to come on and win some one-on-ones and those type of things. But he's handling it well.
What's next for the front? I mean, what else do you want to see him get better at and improve at here this back half of the season?
I think we just got to continue to bring guys along, right? It's a long season. Guys get banged up. We've lost some guys. We never had Anthony going into the season. We've lost DJ, so now it's a guy like Bryce Austin's got to step up, and he's a talented guy, but he's got to develop more consistency. DeMarge's had, some opportunities when Branson got knocked out against Illinois to play more reps, and it's just bringing on the depth. A guy like DeMarcus Mitchell really hasn't gotten his groove yet. This summer he spent a lot of time on academics, missed all camp, so he had a rough first outing. I thought he really got going against UConn, and Notre Dame had a good game. And then halfway through Illinois, he's out with a thigh bruise and only played 4 snaps last week with a sprained knee. So it's just trying to get him into a groove and find some consistency there. I know he's been frustrated. He hasn't been 100%. So, it's just bringing guys along. Like I said, it's a long season. Guys get banged up, and we've got to have that next, round of guys ready to go.
Has DeMarcus been able to get out there during the off week and this week?
It's coming along. Like I say, he's not 100% right now, but he wants to play as badly as anybody. And I think he'll be ready to go this weekend, and whether or not he's 100%, I think once you get past that first game, or really even out of camp, right? I mean, you're never 100% until maybe a month after the season, depending on what happens to you physically, during that long run. So, but like I say, everybody's going through the same thing, and we grind through it together, pick each other up. And like I say, coming off of a bye, like I say, we're going to be a lot better off physically than we were, at the end of the Minnesota game.
Have you seen anything like this, the fact that the struggle to get takeaways? I know a lot of it's happenstance, but I know you guys practice it. Yeah. You're probably tired of hearing about it, talking about it, but a team like Iowa somehow has got 20 in 6 games. Purdue's got 2. I mean, it's incredible.
It's the damnedest thing, I think we work it, we work specific periods of it. We incorporate it, in our other drills. There's been opportunities, right? I mean, the ball's been on the ground.
7 fumbles.
Ball's been on the ground. We haven't come up with them. So we just, you got to think that it's going to swing your way at some point. We're talking about it. The guys are focusing on it, and it's hard to put your finger on why those things happen. I mean, it needs to swing our way, right? Because we need to create some great field position for our offense. Those are momentum-changing type plays. And until you get them, you're going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit. And our opponents have gotten them, and it's hurt us.
What's the sure the last time you coached against an Iowa team, they were probably doing some of the same things that they're doing.
Yeah,
doing today. But just what's the challenge facing this group on Saturday?
Well, I mean, people talk about how young they are up front, but I mean, they're so, year in and year out, Iowa's offensive line is going to be one of the best, most well-coached units you're going to face. Linderbaum, the center, is as good a guy as will play. He does a great job of helping the guards. They're just really, really good at their scheme. Running back 15 is a good player. Petrus is protecting the football. They're not turning it over. They're taking shots. They're always going to have talented tight ends, and then they're going to take some shots down the field. And let's be honest, I mean, their defense is giving them the ball in some great, scoring positions. Their kicking game is as good as it gets. You watch that game last week. I mean, their punter just consistently backed up Penn State. That was the difference in the game. Call it what it is. I know they lost their quarterback, but not only losing your quarterback, when you're backed up as much as they were throughout the game, I mean, that just makes it a long field. So it's going to be a challenge. But like I say, our guys are excited about going over there. We've got a good football team. Our offense knows that they got to clean up some things, and our kicking game's got to, come through. And defensively, you already said it, Tom. I mean, we got to take the ball away, find a way to take it away, and not give up some big plays like we did last time out against Minnesota.
Yeah, Iowa's a team. Their offense isn't necessarily putting up, a ton of points or a ton of yards, but they're doing a good job, controlling the clock. So how important is it on Saturday to kind of make sure that their offense gets off the field early and give your offense some more opportunities to score points?
Well, we talk about, third down is huge. It's money down, right? And we can't let them convert, get into to second and mediums, third and shorts. That just makes it an easier opportunity to convert. That's one thing. As I talked to my guys after the Minnesota game, two things about that game are really the difference, right? Take away the big play to start the second half. Mm-hmm. We had an opportunity to go down there, right, make them kick a field goal instead of a touchdown. That's a 4-point swing. And at the end of the game, in my mind, it's potentially a 13-13 game. We don't have to go for it on fourth down, and you're going into overtime. That last series of the game, when it's a 17 to 13 game, 17-13, yeah, 17-13, and we give up a couple first downs, which puts them in field goal position, right? And so those are situations, again, we just got to find a way to get off the field. And it starts on first down. Win first down, get them into second and long, and then your third and medium, third and long situations. That helps your cause.